Elle, on peut creuser avec la pelle ou quoi? Ce truc.
There you are.
Ah, c'est lui.
It took you a while. I was getting worried you wouldn't make it. I even realized that I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. I'm Caradoc,
Ah, c'est Caradoc.
your savior. What kept you so long?
J'ai croisé il a maigri. Non, il a l'air de s'être assagi. Il fait moins le con. Parce que Camelot est en ruine en même temps, c'est normal. Alors on va voir. Je me pense ça d'ailleurs que je n'ai pas encore eu l'occasion de me présenter.
Call it whatever you want, but you made it back, and in better shape than before.
Ok.
The Red Death's gone, so either you're lucky, or you picked up something useful in there. You found him. I'm truly sorry it turned out to be you. Well, it seems that the Red Priests managed to succeed in at least one of their experiments. You were able to go deep into the weirdness, survive, and even bring a piece of our king's soul back with you. I don't have to explain that this isn't something that happens every day. My job is to make sure it won't ever happen again. And this means you have to die. I'm truly sorry.
Oh, il fait trop mal. Il m'a two shot.
I'm sorry, but that had to be done. It shouldn't leave any lasting damage. I had to get rid of the parasite that infested you a moment ago. You've seen, no, you've felt what he's capable of. This power can't be unleashed on Avalon. Not again. You've found yourself in the middle of a mess that's been brewing for 600 years. Every single time things go down the shitter on this island, a bunch of cowards in Camelot bring our once and future king back from the dead. It's happened before. It will happen again. My journey, my mission, is to stop this from happening. No, but thanks to you, I finally destroyed a piece of him I couldn't have reached otherwise. And from where I stand, that's progress. What the Red Priests did to you must have been horrible. And yet, you've gained a unique ability to contain Arthur's powers within you. And what can be contained can be killed. That is why your assistance might be of help on my journey. My goal is to destroy King Arthur, to get rid of him, once and for all. There are pieces of his soul scattered across Avalon. I could use help in finding, collecting, and destroying them. He's the reason the world as we know it is coming to an end. Every time they resurrect him, the weirdness grows stronger. Soon it will cover all of Avalon, and nobody will survive that. I've been cleaning this mess for a long time now, and I truly wish for this nightmare to end. I stand against the most powerful being Avalon has ever seen. This requires caution. What would you do were you in my place? Kindly ask your target if it wants to be killed. Please. And if you really must know, the spell I used on my sword couldn't have harmed you. I knew that, you were surprised, I got the upper hand, and now you're safe and sound. Can we leave this behind, or did I judge you incorrectly and you'd like to waste some more of our time and cry about it some more? The plan is to steal Excalibur. Or at least, what's hiding within that damned blade. A piece of our king is bound to it, and so it needs to be destroyed. We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. The sword is kept in the Horns of the South. It's a fortress, but if someone has this emblem, they can enter freely. Here, pin it to your clothes. If you decide to help me, you should get in without any issues. When you do, find the captain. Brendan's his name. He'll tell you the rest. I have something to do first, but you should get some rest. Judging by the waves, the journey won't be pleasant. Set up a camp and get some sleep. Then we'll sail for the Horns of the South.
Ah, je vais pouvoir dresser un camp.
Ah, and here, have some cobweb. Throw that into the fire and you'll be safe from the weirdness. Just in case I don't come back before nightfall.
Quelques toiles? Allumer un feu de camp. Désormais, vous souhaitez vous reposer, cuisiner. Ouvrir la roue d'utilisation rapide. Ça, je sais pas qui l'a annoncé. J'ai appris que Caradoc, le chevalier qui m'a délivré de l'asile de l'île, désirait aller dérober Excalibur aux Cornes du Sud. Apparemment, pour ce faire, il était censé de rencontrer le capitaine de la forteresse, un certain Brandon. Le monde à gagner. Un monde à gagner. Ouais. roue. La roue. Ça.
I should be gone. I should be gone. And yet, here we are. Whatever he tried, it must have failed. Something must have gone wrong. For him. For us, it was a stroke of luck. Hatred, yes. That much I understood. But why? What did I take from him that he would go so far? He speaks as if he knows me, as if he has seen something I have not. And yet, I reach for it, and there is nothing. I felt him strike. For a moment, there was nothing. No weight, no voice, no self. Just silence. But then, you pulled me back, didn't you? Or have I never left? No. It seems that I should, but I don't. He knew me, spoke with certainty, with anger. But to me, he's a stranger. If he was a part of my past, then that past has been taken from me. I need to regain it. I don't... Not much. That isn't right. I should remember. I should. All I know is that I left my kingdom strong, prosperous. It should have grown. It must have flourished in my absence. It seems so. If Caradoc is hunting for more pieces of my soul, we should definitely claim them first. When we do, I should grow stronger. I should remember. I should be whole. Let's go then, young one. Let's not waste any more time. I left my kingdom strong. It should have only grown stronger in my absence. And if something threatens it now, then I will see it restored.
On avait dit qu'on commençait par l'endu, vite fait. Pour avoir la régénération d'endurance. Il n'y a pas une stat régénération? Ah, c'est là. Je suis à 35. Ça augmente de 1,50. Peut-être monter à 40 de régène. Quoi encore? Et là, on avait dit dextérité, vitesse d'attaque. On va partir à l'aube. À 5 h du mat. Comment on range ce merdier? C'est pas grave. C'est rien.
Ready? Hop on the boat.
The sea was restless, waves slamming against the hull as you left the island asylum behind. Caradoc's boat cut through the black waters, its course set for Avalon's shores. Then the deep stirred. A shudder ran through the vessel from neither wind nor tide, but from something far below. A presence, ancient and watching. And then it struck. The boat lurched violently, wood splintering as the sea itself rose in fury. A shadow moved beneath the surface, vast, coiling, inescapable. The next wave swallowed everything. Darkness took you. Salt filled your lungs, and then light. The crash of waves, the cold kiss of wet sand. You were alive. The sea had spared you, but not without a cost.
Eh ben putain, il a envie Caradoc. Oh la musique. Mangeur de cadavres. Permet de creuser. Ah putain, ça veut dire faut l'équiper. Ah. Ah, il y a des loups. Oh merde, il est là. Oh putain, ils sont deux. Mais putain. Je pense qu'il faut que je fasse de meilleurs réglages graphiques. Ah, il y a une map quand même. Ok. Putain, il y a un dragon, t'es sérieux? Ah non. Attends, au début de game, un dragon, j'ai flippé. C'est un Coatrix, je sais pas quoi. Trop clair. Ou alors c'est à cause du soleil. On monte dans ce merdier. Ils ont pas l'air hostiles. Ah merde, c'est un hors-la-loi. Un hors-la-loi qui fait mal.
I'm not beaten yet.
Merde.
We'll make short work of you. You're
C'est longue. Nécessite force 2. Ah, une torche, yes. Une torche, une torche. Non, mais... Faut que je fasse un choix entre épée lourde ou dague. Nécessite 3 dextérité. Ça veut dire quoi? Je peux pas utiliser.
Wait, keep your eyes peeled. You fight like a milkmaid. Say your prayers. Beg for mercy. Say your prayers. Beg for mercy. I'll teach you to respect me. You'll be fertilizing the soil.
Nombre de crétins. On fonce dans la merde là.
leash, are we? They must have had their fun with you. Who had you as their plaything? The judge? The druids? Some band of cutthroats? But it doesn't matter now that you're free. I'm Abigail, a knight. I swore my sword to my lady's will, and she kept me close. Until she had no more use for me. Now, I walk alone, but a shadow never strays too far. You look wretched, and you smell like death. I've seen people like you before. Broken, worn down, dragged through the mud. If you've had enough of it all, I could grant you an honorable death. In a proper duel.
Non.
You lived like a cur, but you could die like a knight. Wouldn't that be just splendid? Just say the word.
Vu comment on est équipé, je suis pas sûr de pouvoir le battre lui. Donc non merci.
Off you go.
Ah ouais, ok. Franchement ça. Esgar le protecteur. Oh, la musique elle est incroyable. Dextérité pour la furtivité. Ou alors je rush le... Ah non, ça va être trop long.
won't go down easily. I'll take you down with me.
On voit rien. Merde, c'est quoi ça? Je veux aller là, puis j'y vais pas. C'était bien par là ou je deviens fou? Ouais, c'était là. Merde, c'est qui lui? Ah non, c'est la statue.
It's you. Welcome.
C'est quoi ce bordel?
Yes, off you go.
Toilette, oui. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce truc? Il y a une protection ici ou pas?
Stay away from... What's happening? In the name of the All Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. But we don't just let anybody in, pal. You need to have, things, proof. Things to prove you're safe. For Haven. Yeah. This pin. I can't say I see it very clearly at this
Ah bah
present
d'accord.
moment, but it does look important. Very official.
Ah la blague.
But I remember Fergus said something about all this, these emblems once.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye, royal person, on behalf of the keepers.
Putain mais
Oh, you are a great friend to our own. Welcome.
qui c'est qui a foutu ce type à l'entrée?
Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the captain's absence. He'll greet thee properly. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Open it up, boys!
Ia, c'est pas celle que j'ai rencontrée. On va vérifier ça. Non, c'est Cierge. La Picte. Bon, je crois que tout le monde dort. Hein. C'est pas ici que je devais rendre la mission.
This feeling, it was so strong, so real. I remember now, the weight of it, the power.
Power.
This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me. Yes, the sensation is unmistakable. But it carries more than my soul. It carries a part of my legacy. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
What do you need? This is a prison, not a museum. We don't admire here. At least, that's what they tell me to say. I'm supposed to be intimidating. Usually, it's nothing but interesting folks. I'm telling you, in these crazy times, every one of them comes in with some wild tale. But right now, quiet as can be. Good thing I've got my books. All my adventures are in there these days. Because I am. I asked for this post. Just to get some peace, quiet, and warmth. No useless small talk. No shrieking seagulls. And none of that cursed biting wind. I'm telling you, it's heaven. And I get to read my books too. So if you've got anything interesting, I'd be glad to trade.
Un bouquin. C'est quoi ce truc? Main tranchée, OMG. What the fuck? Ça c'est 2000 boules. Dégâts furtifs, ok. C'est vraiment du Skyrim. Hein. Mec, il y a plein de trucs à se vendre. Ça vaut rien finalement ça.
Who are you? What do you want? I don't recognize your face. Hi. I am. They told me it's for my safety, and the safety of others. I don't like it. The keep is supposed to be my home, and yet here I am, locked in a damn jail. That cursed madman from the refugee group bit me. I think his name is Cole. The boys told me he's locked up in a cage now. Good. That's the proper place for animals like him. By the All-Mother, if I'd known he was carrying some foul disease, I wouldn't have gone near them. He's just mad. I told the others the group of refugees would bring no good here. And as you can see, I wasn't wrong. Cursed bastards. Damned if I know. Whenever I've had a fever or cold before, I could always explain it. But this, I can't find the words. Sometimes it feels like I'm fading away. Like the part of me that makes me who I am is disappearing. I don't know how to describe it. And there's a voice at times. It calls to me. Each night it draws nearer. Like a dreadful howl. Not at all human, that's for sure. At times, I hear our words within it. But more often, it's like a noise from deep within the bowels of the earth. Like something very wicked. The medic and that red priest both came to see me. Both shrugged, offering no cure. Heber says I should wait. But if you've got anything stronger to drink, I wouldn't say no. It might ease the pain, even just for a little. Thanks. That's really nice of you. Hold fast, and steer clear of those strangers.
Il a dessiné une femme attachée. Oh, bravo. Bravo les fantasmes. Ouh, ça me blesse. Merde. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce tableau? C'est quoi ça? C'est les affaires d'un chevalier? Merde, j'ai claqué ça. Non. Bon, je sais pas ce qu'il y a à faire ici. Ah, il y a quelqu'un qui est apparu. Bonjour.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Riderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago with the first keeper, Sewell Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South. It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it, since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper. Drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker, Firstfoot, comes from. Of course not. That was just the first of his many great deeds. Sewell was an outstanding commander whose strategic mind, bravery, and charisma contributed to our capture of the South from the Four Dwellers. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can say with absolute conviction that if it were not for Sewell Firstfoot, we wouldn't even be standing here having this conversation. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, everyday objects, furniture, textiles, coins, religious artifacts. I'd say all exhibits are worthy of your attention, but I could point you to the ones I personally think to be the most notable, Or, subjectively, of course, the most interesting. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. We have his signal horn, and also his boots. Those boots were the first to touch Avalonian soil. What is also worth mentioning is the tableware used by King Arthur himself during his visit to the Horns of the South in the 15th year of the Avalonian era. It is indeed an interesting exhibit. The horn was used by Sewell during wartime, not only for signaling, but also for intimidation. It is 50 centimeters long and made of the horn of an ox. It is the color of yellowed bone, with some ash-gray discoloration on the narrow end. It has a brass mouthpiece and silver fittings on its wider side and at the middle. The shape of the fittings suggests that the horn was hanging on a leather strap, which unfortunately has not survived to this day.
Et tu gardes, elle peut être où la clé? Ah, ils sont sortis les gens.
I like it when things are quiet.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole. Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened? not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you.
Boules la pierre.
Yeah. After we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then, he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Fergus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink. Sometimes I wonder, you know, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here... it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. They took a lot of our territory. Then, the Dalrita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villagers started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now too. Yes, that damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories. That's... I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. Couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either. I heard that dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything. Ha! Friend, I wish. but the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around, and now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I'd pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two, if you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made.
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier? Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie.
Qu'est-ce qu'il raconte, lui?
You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, fish, and more fish. I could live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie. As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick to our claims to our asses. Really? Sure, I remember it well. Here you go.
All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. Who might you be? You don't look like one of them. Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have. You can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And here's a brilliant idea. You're going to help me. Straight to the point, huh? Don't worry, I'll pay you. And who knows, you might even get a discount on my wares. I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows this already. You don't know? He's the captain of this entire circus. I thought since they let you in, you must have an in with him. And it turns out you know even less than I do. There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. I've been doing business with the captain for years now. Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp in the village. But they won't let me out either. Anyway, good luck to you. Come and visit if you need anything. Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women. What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? Should have stayed there. You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant, too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Yeah, now I remember what I was thinking when I left that place. Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them. I have no home in Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time. I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable as it used to be. But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now, they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes. Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned. Or so we thought. Until we started finding them, one by one. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out, so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess... You do realize you won't score any points with the Keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rulebook. All right. A woman named Ness has my cargo and I need it back. I don't know where she is, but starting the search near the Arkspire seems like a good idea. And yes, you'll get paid. Just bring me the wares.
Baston à 600 boules. Et des haches de bûcheron. Canne à pêche. Permet de dessiner. Bon, je vais dire à l'autre que sa femme est morte. C'est parti du quête principal, ça? Ah non.
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope.
Si, je balance.
Most unfortunate. But that explains why you just strutted into the horns. I'm afraid I'll have to take action.
Quoi contre moi?
The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business. And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns. And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them. You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you? He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. Her presence here distracts my men. Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Rialgan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I honestly think your sense of humor is the worst, but I have to respect your unwillingness to share your story. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death. That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold, because killing a keeper would land you in some serious trouble. You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there, bring me their tags. Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end, but they have families who deserve to know what became of them. It's part of my duty, but since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could lend a hand. I'll pay you for every tag you bring back. I knew we'd have to deal with this sooner or later. Time isn't exactly on our side. Mahone's condition worsens with each passing night. It's hard for me to admit, but nobody, including myself, really knows what's going on. Maybe a fresh perspective is exactly what we need. If you find any clues, follow them. I'm only interested in the details, and ideally, the solutions. We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand. There is a local legend about a dark druid named Slaughter? Slaudier? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people, just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural. It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand. The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well... Sure, let's go with that. Good. Try not to get yourself killed, and get rid of whatever's been causing the problem. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know. Ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon.
Ah bon?
Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there?
Ah, on peut faire de l'intimidation avec de la force.
And have you helped any of my people? Or are you just here to wave that pin in my face again? First, show me you care, and then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now, when the outcome of the war with its tribes is so precarious. I trust we understand each other? Because I said so. I believe your intentions are honest, and the matter is important, but I need to confirm that first. I can't risk our safety, and especially not the captain's safety. If you need rest, you can sleep in the barracks. It's no royal chamber, but it's better to sleep under a roof than under the stars, right? Especially in this horrible weather.
Erfir. posséder. Il n'y a pas un gars?
What do you think of scale armor? Scale armor. What do you think of it? The ones all the keepers wear. Sure, maybe it's easy to make and doesn't restrict movement, but it doesn't provide the best protection. Someone just needs to stab you between the scales and you're done for. The metal armor is much better. That will prevent you from being run through with a polearm or getting shot with a bow. It's also much more comfortable.
Okay.
Oh, of course. I mean, I've never made one. I'm not an armorer. But I've read so much about it that I'm sure it won't be a problem. Here's the page from the Armorer's Almanac that explains the process. I told them, but they both said I know jack shit. Besides, the keepers rarely go outside the walls nowadays. Then the quartermaster added that if I don't like our equipment, he could send me out scouting in just my underwear. Perhaps you're right. But if somebody ever stabs me under the scales, I'll go straight to the quartermaster and give him an earful. I read a lot about it. In Volume 4 of the Armorer's Almanac, Arden's Shadowblade, for example, chainmail allows for a good range of movement, but it's heavy. It also provides poor protection against blunt weapons, and its production is laborious. Shadowblade is a moniker. Arden is passionate about weapons and armor. He has great knowledge of materials, techniques, and history. A true expert. Everything he writes is interesting. I would love to meet him one day. No, but I have knowledge from books and a lot of thoughts on the subject, so I know what it would be like to wear different armor.
Hey, tell me, can you read? Listen, I'm no good with words. Could you read me a letter from my sister? She's learning how to read and write. Can you believe it? She writes letters to me. I'm so proud of her. Oh, thanks. Here's the letter. What did it say? Everyone's healthy?
On paie, il faut de la perception.
No, you must have misunderstood something. What do I do now? I don't know. I should go back to him, right? I guess that's true. Yes. Excuse me. I need to be alone.
Are you here to keep me company or put me out of my misery? Just kidding. Love the view, but this weather is killing me. You don't say. I didn't choose to be here. Our beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. He said as punishment for spitting on the good name of the keepers. Whatever the hell that means. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay. And maybe some of my clothes. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my gold. I can spend it how I please. Oh, I need a warm coat. And I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get, huh? Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days. Oh, come on, can't you see I'm freezing? Who in their right mind orders someone with bad joints to patrol the walls in this kind of weather, eh? Thanks. I'll be right here, freezing my arse off. Oh!
Hope nothing bad happens today. Huh. It's Radan, isn't it? That ungrateful bastard's still on the wall. You don't have to do that, kid. I know it's for him. It's fine. And I forgave him a long time ago. Now that I think about it, it was a hell of a prank. Well, he was right. I am old, but inefficient stung a little bit. After all, I did my job well, and his sword is as sharp as Excalibur itself. Well, I may not be angry with him anymore, but that doesn't mean I'll work my ass off so that his doesn't freeze. Here's an explanation of how to make it. Feel free to help him out yourself. I like it when things are quiet.
Blessings upon you, stranger. May the word always resonate within your soul. Certainly. Kai's blessings know no bounds, but sometimes it's useful to seal them in a handy flask. It's a sickness, a corruption, but also a mystery. Many of my brothers would call it a curse, a stain upon Avalon that must be purged. And yet, I wonder, did Kai not teach us that all things have a purpose? That even suffering carries wisdom? The weirdness twists and warps, yes. It consumes and it takes, but it also gives. Life grows in its wake, strange and terrible, but life all the same. If we are to fight it, we must first understand it. And that is what frightens the Church most of all. Understanding. As prepared as any men can be against something they barely understand. Swords and fire will hold back beasts, but what of the creeping rot that twists flesh and mind alike? But there is one thing. The Excalibur they keep here. It has not been wielded in an age, yet the weird does not creep near it. Well, even as it rests upon its pedestal, the air around it remains untouched. The tendrils of corruption that strangle stone and steel refuse to claim it. The Keepers may not see it for what it is, but I do. There is power in that blade. Something ancient, something beyond the Church's teachings. And if it truly holds back the weirdness, then perhaps it was never meant for men alone. Safe? No. But safer than most, I suppose. But tell me, what is safety, truly? A stronghold? A weapon? A prayer? I've seen men with all three fall just the same. So no, I do not feel safe. But I do feel watched. And sometimes that is enough. What do you mean, my child? I don't doubt it. We have many research teams there. Of course, our main area of interest is the Red Death. Each team keeps detailed records of their studies. We also have herbalists, researchers of the weirdness, keepers of druidic knowledge. In a word, everything that can be encompassed by the word. Because the Prophet teaches us to respect all knowledge. Ah, that repetition was unintentional. Not much, unfortunately. I was sent to serve in the Horns of the South shortly after my ordination. I only know that many brothers dream of joining the research team working in the ruins. But I am surprised you know about them. The brothers wouldn't allow, well, a nobody to enter.
Il m'a traité de moins que rien.
That's commendable. Keep it up. The Prophet values those who know their place in the world. Indeed, my child. I have served in the Horns of the South since I turned 20. So, it's now my 40th year in the service of Kai and this noble abode. As for the asylum, I only know as much as my brothers deem necessary to relay to me in their letters. I only receive reports on their progress towards curing the Red Death. I'm afraid that I simply cannot believe your blasphemous words without proof. So it's your word against the word. Let's leave it at that. Certainly.
Oui, bien.
May Kai's word always guide you. In the word, you will find solace.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osbridge to get it pulled out. That, and I wouldn't trust him anywhere near my mouth. Don't get me wrong, Osbridge's a decent blacksmith, but he's no good with teeth. With one lad, it took him 3 tries before he got the right one. I'll stick to my grandma's potion for toothache. Or I would, if Heber would stop being such a dick and make it for me. Heber took the recipe from me. And even if I had the recipe, I'm no good at mixing that stuff. Said if I don't know how to make it, I shouldn't have it. And that he doesn't want some questionable homebrew medicine spreading through the keep. He says it's no good. Says that if I don't get the tooth pulled out, it'll keep hurting. I told him that's why I need the remedy, to make it stop hurting. But it's like talking to a brick wall. You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter. Don't worry, I'll give you something very special if you bring me that remedy.
What do you want?
Ta gueule, parle bien, toi.
You all right, newbie? Have you been to see the refugees? I can't believe poor Cole was put in a cage. Hey, what a mess. Cole came to us with a group of refugees from some nearby villages. They were looking for shelter from, well, everything that's been happening here. Bandits, the weirdness, the Del Reader, hunger. I was happy Fergus let them in and allowed them to stay.
En fait, j'ai vu un oiseau s'envoler à partir d'ici.
You'll meet them in the village. They live in the buildings up high. Not long ago, though, Cole started acting very strange, erratic, sometimes even aggressive. One of our keepers, old Mahon, tried to calm him down. He might have used too much force, and Cole felt compelled to defend himself. He bit old Mahon. And since then, the old fool has been lying in the infirmary.
Plutôt en prison, là.
Frankly, I think Mahon brought it on himself. They shouldn't have put that poor man in a cage. Wait, if you ever meet Patrice, please give her those flowers. I know it's not much, but I'd like her to know she's not alone. I support her and the other refugees. And I'm sure there are more of us who do.
Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Aymer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager to start work.
Oui, pardon.
So, what do you need this time? The pass again? Are we planning a trip to the Stale Lamb?
Attends, mais pour qui il me prend?
Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. I'm waiting for a delivery. Steward Orla will let me know when more arrives. In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. So, you in? For the sake of our long friendship? Just as we agreed. I appreciate that you remember. Holding one's tongue is the key to success. Keep it up. You do know it needs to stay between us. Do you understand? Say you understand. Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out at Ron's, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem. Splendid! When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around.
Qui a eu ça? Attends, il a pas une table d'alchimie là?
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patients something he hadn't tried on himself first.
Ah, mais il disait ça, ok.
A wise approach, which I follow myself. What irony? The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know and how insignificant you are to the world. Healing diseases, sometimes cutting people open. Oh, and pulling out teeth seems to be a leading cause of concern for everyone around here. Me pulling teeth in the arse end of the world? My friends back in Camelot would laugh their brains out. Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already. No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients. Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this. What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me. I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no sense. No sense at all. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south. Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start complaining. And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to their health. He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much about anyone else, though. I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a waste of precious time. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite popular in our study group. Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher-ups. There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died and came back to life, only to die again. So you either take the next dose, or endure it.
Ah.
I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, that'd be risky. Well, they already trust my word, and I'll be sure to deny everything. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices, or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. I'm honestly quite offended you're even asking. No, and I'm reluctant to admit that I'm unable to help with this matter. Cole's symptoms are unlike anything I've ever seen. I'm certain it's not one of the usual maladies carried by wild animals. As for the bite on Mahon, although it was a nasty wound at first, it healed very quickly. On call, it's barely visible. Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do?
Si.
Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans. Good point. That is a very good point. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Back at the Academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? That is an excellent question. But I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world.
Pas rassurant.
That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word. And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest moment in our history, that's for sure. You truly don't know. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death, and all other ailments of our times. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords, and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye.
Pourquoi un gigantesque mannequin en osier?
But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead. Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Fergus's face if he hears about me going out there. In Camelot, maybe, but this far south? Nobody cares. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books in pursuit of their knowledge. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me.
Une petite décharge foudroyante. C'est intéressant ça. C'est désormais sur la voie de... Bon, est-ce que j'ai fait le tour de la place? J'ai pas vu ça. Ok.
nice day.
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Connacht. I should have guessed right away. So, who's in charge there now?
Oh, I was just wondering what's going on out there. Here in the south, we have our own affairs. What happens out there in the world? Well, the news doesn't always travel all the way here.
And they should. It's in our common interest.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course.
D'accord.
Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game.
Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. Over the whole damn course of history.
Faut que t'ailles te coucher, mec.
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks. You see? It takes one to know one, and that means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else.
Yeah? Don't tell me you're one of those fools that think that the All-Mother exists. Have you ever seen her? How do you know that we're not being lied to?
Exactly. But maybe one day you'll see the truth.
Bon, et le prisonnier, je vais finir avec lui.
You're the reason they put me in.
Ah bon?
You just wait until they let me out. I'll beat you so hard your own mother won't recognize you.
Ah, c'est le garde, ok.
Come a little closer so I can spit in your face. Nobody asked your opinion. I drink 'cause I want to. I drink 'cause guarding that empty gate is the most boring shit in the world. What's it to you, anyway, huh? Maybe I was drunk, but the gate was guarded. It's not your damn pin, I wouldn't even let you in. But all is not lost. We can still be friends. Listen, just pour something delicious down my throat, huh? I'm not guarding the gate right this second, am I? There's nothing wrong with having a little sip, right? Come on, don't be like that. Just a drop. That's all I ask. Aye, that's for me to decide. If you don't even want to help me with such a tiny thing, then get out of my sight. Me a throw bars to the bone, you grateful bastard.
Bon, j'ai récolté pas mal de quêtes. On avait dit on va buter la personne qui est là. C'est quoi ça encore? La tourte. C'est quoi le délire de la tourte? Il manque un œuf. J'ai pas parlé à lui.
Welcome, in the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables. I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the Keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot.
Les clans d'El Riata, ça veut dire que c'est le mec que j'ai rencontré là, l'énervé. Ce serait une déclaration de guerre contre Camelot.
As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small skirmishes, but who knows how it'll end. Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're Wormfood now. Most of them. The survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods. And one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudyard. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudyard came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough keepers. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done.
Sir Galahad, c'est qui déjà?
No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know. Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Oh, I want to hear all the details. Here's your reward, but promise you'll tell me everything. Oh, someone finally checked out the notices I was posting on the board. Go chop off some heads. Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Qu'est-ce qu'il m'a donné?
Please, state your business. Do you keep bandits' fingers as trophies? I...
Et il m'a demandé de... Il m'a demandé des conseils à un chasseur, mais je sais pas où il est chasseur. Bon, on va arrêter là. Demain, je vais faire la suite. Il est quelle heure? Presque 2 heures. Ouais, ça va être une bonne heure pour arrêter. Comme ça, on commence tôt demain.
Less attention, the better.
Tu vas parler, oui?
Bloody seagulls! Can you hear me, you flying vermin? Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. What a great idea that was. And what do you want? I'm fixated. Me! Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then, suddenly, splat. A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So, I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another 4, splat! And they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words. And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. So, what now? Should I shit on you for that? I don't think so. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd learned their lesson and wouldn't be flying over here anymore. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. With increased force. Like they're planning it. Vengeful scoundrels. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is. Come on, have mercy. I'd have dealt with the damn creatures myself, but I don't have the time. They're not even good for anything. Less meat than a squirrel, and what's there is dry as a pilgrim's foot. I'm not asking a lot. I just need something to scare them off. A fee? I'm not asking you to hunt down a monstrosity from Grubwood or the Sunken Village. Ah, whatever. As you wish. You'll get your fee. You must think yourself an expert, damn you. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their lesson and keep away from me. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy enough to take up something like this. But there is one guy in the museum, Riderick. He's supposed to know everything.
Were you at the pledge? I didn't see you. Yeah. Victory over health. Honor over life. Yeah. Bandits, tribes, sodom all. Sleep, damn it, is the worst son of a bitch I ever fought. No sleeping now. The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? You need to serve. No. I shut my eyes for about 15 minutes every day. Sometimes 20. Besides, a true keeper doesn't sleep. He keeps watch. The Old Mother will reward me after I'm dead. But I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, our physician, works miracles. You could stand on the walls all day and night and not even think about closing your eyes. What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings when I was getting sleepy and took it. And then Yan put it somewhere else. Keeper's vigor. Good stuff. Excuse me? Those were local supplies for every keeper. Shit. maybe I was stealing. Oh, I never thought about it like that.
Et il avait pas une mission?
Service. Et...
Ok, on arrête là. 6h30, c'est beaucoup. On reprend demain.
Keep your head down.
Allez, bisous, bonne nuit. Là.
Stay quiet.